And hopefully you can all see my screen there. And we're going to start actually this week with the problem I sent out in email over the weekend. And it's this hand here where you open 2-no trump, you've got a balanced 20 points. Your partner bids 3 clubs a Stayman. There's a 3-heart overcall, but you bid 3 spades because you've got a nice 4-card spade suit. And your partner goes to 4 spades. That ends the auction. And the opponent's lead a heart. And you're expecting that heart lead after East overcall. So let's stop to make a plan on this one. And what I suggest you do in the suit contract, and you do here, is you start off by trying to work out how many possible losers you have. So work out your potential losers. And in a moment, I'm going to launch a poll. And the question is, how many losers do you think you've got? So you'll go through each suit one at a time and work out how many losers you think you have. So let me launch that first poll. To end the poll there. And let me share the results with you. And nearly everyone, or 83%, have said 3, with 17% going for 4. So let's have a look at this. And I agree with the people who said 3. It looks like we're going to lose 2 hearts, and we've got the ace of diamonds to lose, but we don't have any club losers. We shouldn't lose any spades. So it looks on the face of it like we just have those 3 losers, but it's quite possible to go wrong on this hand. Now, they've led the 5 of hearts, and there was a 3-heart overcall here on my right. So I'm expecting East to have at least a 5-card suit. So if that's 5 there, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, West can't have more than 2 hearts. So that's important deduction to make. So East wins the first trick with the Jack, plays back the ace. So they've won the first 2 tricks, and they play another heart. And we have to be careful here because we strongly suspect that West is out of hearts here. So we want to rough this one, but we want to rough it high. So that's the first hurdle on this one. So we rough high and West discard. So that was what we expected. And let's suppose you start off by drawing trumps. So we'll draw 1 round. Everyone has followed to that. We'll play another round. And let's suppose everyone follows to that. Now, if you're counting, there's actually 1 trump still out. But if you draw this last trump, you will be in a bit of problems. In fact, if I bring up the hands and click on the GIB link, the software is telling me that if I now try to draw this last trump with the ace of spades, I can be defeated. Because what will happen if I play the ace of spades, that gets rid of the last trump. But the problem is I haven't established the diamonds yet. So if I now play the diamonds, East can get in with the ace. And now they're in a position to cash another heart. Because I don't have any hearts left in the south hand, when they play the queen, I can't do anything about it, and they will take 1 more trick. If they keep playing hearts, I can rough there in the north hand with my last trump, and I can make the last tricks, but I will only make 9 tricks there. So what went wrong on that hand? Well, the problem was that I had to let the opponents in with the ace of diamonds, and that allowed them to cash another trump. Sorry, to cash another heart, I meant to say, because I was unable to rough. What could I do differently about this? Well, I have to be aware of that possibility. Let's play this hand again, just as we did before. But now we're going to maybe draw 2 rounds of trump. And now you have to realize you're vulnerable now. You're vulnerable to the opponent's getting in with the ace of diamonds and playing a heart. So you have to keep this last trump in your hand. And what you have to do, the only way to make this is to try to establish a diamonds while you've still got a trump in your hand. In other words, force out the ace of diamonds. And that's what I'm going to do here. There is a slight risk of doing this while there's still an outstanding trump, but if I don't do this, if I try and draw trumps, then I can easily be defeated. So what I'm doing is playing a round of diamonds. The opponents can get in there, but now if they play the queen of hearts, I've got one trump left and I can ruff that. Okay, there's still a trump outstanding, so I need to cross to the north hand, perhaps with the club, so I can draw that last trump. And once that's gone, then I can claim the rest of the tricks. So a slightly tricky one, where if you end up roughing hearts there, you can run out of trumps and you won't be able to ruff hearts in the north hand. Any comments or questions on that?
There is another way of playing that, isn't there?
Yes, what's that?
Well, after you've drawn the two trumps,
yeah,
cross over into dummy.
Yeah, shall we do that?
Yeah.
And
play your nine of hearts.
Right. Let's try that. So cross over to dummy with a club. Yeah. And then play the nine of
hearts. Trumpet high.
Right.
Return to dummy with the jack of clubs.
Right. Yeah. Okay, and draw the last trump.
Draw the last trump, and then establish your diamonds, and you've still got an entry back into.
Right. Draw the last trump. Yeah. Okay, that's good. Yeah. Do that, and now you can play
the 10. Yeah.
Right. Play the 10. Right. They can win their ace.
But whatever they lead, you're gonna win it.
Whatever they lead. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Good. That works too. Yeah. Good. Okay. That seems like a good approach as well. Whatever you do, you will go. You can't afford to draw all the trump right away, or you will be in trouble. But that's another. Yeah. Thank you for that. That seems like another reasonable way of playing that. Let's try another one where I'm going to start with a bidding question here. South, your partner has opened one heart. You respond one spade. South now bids two diamonds. And the poll question for you is, what do you think North should bid now? So have a little think about it. And in a moment, I'll launch another poll. What would you think North should rebid? Okay, I'm going to share in the poll and share the results with you. Now we've got a very close result there. Majority have gone for two no trump there, with 35% going for three hearts, 15% going for two hearts, and no one passed, and 8% went for three diamonds. So let's switch back to that and see what we think. Well, yes, you might well be thinking of no trump there, although your partner, by bidding two suits, should be showing five hearts and at least four diamonds. So very often with an 8-card fit in a major, you should be supporting your partner suit rather than bidding no trump. No trump could work out fine here because you do have a good club stopper. But let's suppose you bid three hearts. That would be my choice here. And your partner takes you to four hearts. So let's have a look at this. And let's suppose the opponents lead a spade. And let's try to make a plan on this hand from the point of view of declarer. And we can see that we might have been in trouble in 3-no trump here if we ended up there, if the opponents had led spades, because although you've got 4 spades there, you don't really have much of a stopper. So it could have been problematic. But let's suppose you end up in 4 hearts, and let's try to make a plan on this hand. And once again, we're going to look at our possible losers. And it looks like we are in danger of losing a spade there. Hopefully just 1 heart and 1 diamond. And that's our goal on this hand, to just lose those 3 tricks. We're not going to lose any clubs. And let's see how we should play this. So they lead the king of spades, and suppose they play another spade, which we rough. Okay. And what we want to do on this hand, at some point we want to play the diamonds, but I think we're going to start off by drawing trump. So let's start off with the ace and the king. And if everyone follows at this point, there is 1 trump out, and it's the queen. And what we want to do is just leave it out. Don't bother to try to draw it. Just go about your other business now and maybe try to establish the diamonds. What we're going to do is play the diamonds. Let's bring up the 4 hands at this point. And you can see that West has got him with the ace of diamonds. And a very good thing for West to do at this point, which is sort of the opposite of what declarer did, which was to stop drawing trumps, is actually to draw that last trump. So use their queen of hearts to get 2 trumps out of 1 from dummy, 1 from declarer's hand. And now, though, if they play another spade, let's say, you can still rough. Unfortunately, you have still got a trump left, and you can rough that last spade. And now there are no more trumps, so the rest of your hand is good. You can just take your diamonds and take your clubs, and you should just make your 10 tricks on that one. So that was sort of relatively straightforward. What you don't want to do on this hand is draw all the trump. So if we play this hand again, just as we did before, where you play the ace and the king, it will be a mistake now to play another heart. When there's 1 high trump out, it's nearly always a good idea to leave it out and let them rough with it whenever they want. But just play, if you make the mistake of playing a heart now, you'll let the opponents in with the queen. And now if they play a spade, although you can rough this one, you're in trouble now because you still haven't set up the diamond suit. So all the trumps have gone now, including from your hand. And when you play a diamond, the opponents can get in, and on this layout, they can cash another spade and they can defeat you. They can't take any more spades, fortunately, so you'll get back in and you'll cash your remaining winners, but you'll be held to 9 tricks on that hand by attempting to draw that last trump. So just remember, don't do that. The other way I see people going down on hands like this is they attempt to rough spades. They see the opponents lead a spade, and that creates a void in their hand. So if you're tempted to rough spades in this hand, you can also be have problems. So if, for example, you now say cross to dummy and try to rough a spade, you can do that, but you've shortened your trump holding. And now if you play as you did before, let's suppose you play the ace and the king of hearts, and then maybe turn your attention to diamonds. Now West can get in, and West has got the queen of hearts and can draw all the trumps now, and now you're out of trump, and they'll be able to cash a spade trick and again defeat you. After that, you'll get back in, but you'll be defeated by 1 trick. You'll only make 9 tricks there. And that was all caused by attempting to ruff spades unnecessarily. So don't ruff in the long hand unless there is a really good reason to do it. It does not gain you any extra tricks. And on a hand like this, it can lead to you running out of trumps. Any comments or questions on that? Let's try another one.
Tony, sorry to trouble you. In your first example, can you do Stayman after interference?
Well, this was not Stayman after interference in the sense that 3 clubs was Stayman. Okay, so I responded. Sorry, let me rewind. So I responded to show my spade suit there. Okay. I don't know if that answers your question. There are ways of asking for a fork, trying to see if a partner's got a fit for you if the opponents had intervened. So if it had been 2 no trump 3 hearts, then you have to have a different way of using Stayman because you can't bid 3 clubs anymore.
Right.
Okay.
Also, so this is because you had the overcall after the Stayman. You don't need a 5 card to show the spade then.
No, I'm replying to my partner's 3 clubs here, and
right.
presumably they want to know about my spade suit, and presumably they still want to know about it even after the 3 heart bid.
Okay.
If I didn't have a 4 card major that I could show, then obviously I can't bid 3 diamonds. But what I could do is probably pass. Okay, and then it'll be up to my partner as to where they want to end up. But if so over 3 hearts, I couldn't bid 3 diamonds. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Anyway, let's go on to the next one, and let's have a look at this one. Again, these are all examples of some slightly tricky trump plays. And here you open 1 heart. There's a 2 diamond overcall. North bids 2 hearts, and that gets passed out. And the opponents lead a diamond. And let's stop to make a plan here, and we're going to count our possible losers. So looking at the club suit, I'm not going to lose any clubs there. Diamonds, I might lose 2 or 3 tricks. We'll come back to that in a moment. Hearts, I'm hopefully just going to lose 1 trick. I've got an 8 card fit there. And in spades, I've got 2 possible losers in the south hand. If you think about it, I've got ace king, and then I've got 2 possible losers. Maybe I can be able to ruff one of those if I still have trumps in the north hand. So if I can do that, I'm hoping I'll only lose maybe 1 diamond, 1 trump, and I could afford to lose up to 3 diamonds. Now, by the way, on the bidding here, after 1 heart, 2 diamonds, yes, North has got a hand where maybe they might have responded 1 no trump, but over 2 diamonds, they can't bid 1 no trump anymore. So I think with 3 card support, they're probably better off to support you, even though you might only have 4 hearts playing Akol. So let's see how this goes. They start off with the ace of diamonds, and East plays the ace of diamonds. East plays the 8, which looks like it might be encouraging. They carry on with the king. East plays the 7, and they play another diamond, and East ruffs them. So they've taken 3 tricks now. And let's suppose they switch to a club, which we win. And now we've got to decide what to do here. What we might be thinking about doing is, well, 1 trump has gone because someone ruffed. So let's suppose we start by trying to draw trump, and we play the ace, and we play another one, but East discard. So there's 1 trump out. It's a high trump, and again, it's a good idea not to draw it here. And maybe we can use the 7 of hearts for ruffing a spade if necessary. So let's just bring up the 4 hands at this point and see what happens if we try to play the spades now. So we're not drawing that last trump. Instead, we're playing on the spades, play the ace, play a spade back, and then we're going to play another spade. But unfortunately, what will happen on this hand is that West will gain the lead with the jack of spades, And can you see what West will play? They will play the high trump and draw your trumps. And now you won't be able to ruff that last spade. So now they'll be able to cash a spade. And although you can take the last 2 tricks, that's only 7 tricks, and you will go down 1. Is there anything we could have done about that? Let's try it again. So they play the ace of diamonds as before, the king of diamonds, another diamond which gets ruffed. And again, what you are hoping to do is to ruff a spade here. So you get in with the ace of clubs, but you can't play spades without losing a spade. So it's a good idea to actually lose it now so that you retain control. In other words, let's see what happens. If we give up a spade now, then we'll be in a position later on to ruff a spade. If they play another spade now, we'll win that. Now we'll play the ace and another trump, hoping we can draw the last trump. We get the news that West still has a trump, but we are now in a position to ruff a spade. We'll play the king and we'll play another spade, and we'll be able to ruff that. Even if it gets over ruffed, that would be a natural trick they were going to make anyway. But as it turns out, we're able to ruff that. And now we're going to make 2 of the last tricks. So we're always going to lose to the Queen of Hearts. So we can just claim our 8 tricks there. So that was, again, a slightly tricky one. And it does show up a principle there that, you know, when you're going to lose a trick here, as in spades, it's a good idea to lose it early on, and then you're in control of the suit. You'll be able to ruff a spade without the opponents getting in and drawing your last trump. Let's try one last one. And again, I'm going to start with a bidding question for you. And let's suppose it goes 1 diamond, 1 spade by you. Your partner now bids 2 clubs. And the final poll of the evening is, what do you think South should rebid here? And a quite divided response between 2 hearts was the most popular response, but quite a few responses for 2 spades and 2 no trump. So let's switch back to that and see what we think. Well, my vote is for 2 hearts here. 2 hearts is 4th suit, is bidding the 4th suit, and it is artificial. Although you actually do have a 4-card heart suit here, you are interested in looking for game on this hand, but you're not quite sure where. So I think 2 hearts is a good bid here. That is artificial, and your partner's first response to that would be to bid no trump if they have a heart stopper. On this hand, which we'll show you in a moment, if we have a look at it from North's point of view, North doesn't at all have a heart stopper, but does have 3 spades. So they didn't support your spades initially, but now after 2 hearts, they can show 3 card support, and you will end up in 4 spades on this one. By the way, this double here, because the 2 heart bid is artificial, that double should be indicating that West has got strength in hearts and telling their partner, if they end up on lead, that they would like a heart lead. Anyway, so North here bids 2 spades, and South here goes to 4 spades. And let's have a look at the 2 hands together. And we can see we've got a very nice dummy there. And we should also think about where we're in danger of losing tricks. Well, we're probably going to lose 1 spade because we're missing 5 spades there. We're not going to lose any diamonds, and we're not going to lose any clubs. In fact, the only other place we might lose tricks are in hearts. But you might be thinking, well, I can ruff those hearts. Or maybe you might be thinking, well, I've got a fantastic suits in the minors, and that might set up a lot of tricks. In fact, if you stop to count your likely tricks, that's quite a good strategy here, because I think we're likely to make 5 club tricks, 3 diamonds, that's 8 tricks in the minor suits. And if I can make all except 1 spade, that's 4 tricks there. So it seems to me I have a good chance to make 12 tricks on this hand. After I draw trumps, I can run off all the clubs and the diamonds, and should be able to make 12 tricks here. Now, when this hand was actually played, only 2 declarers did make 12 tricks on this hand, and some went down quite badly as well. I don't think anyone bid a slam, but let's see what happens. Let's suppose they lead the king of hearts, and you start by roughing the first trick. Now, you may think on this hand that what you want to do is draw trumps, but if you start out by playing 2 rounds of trumps, the ace and the king, there's still a high trump out, and you are now in trouble, because the opponents will be able to get in with that and will stop you running all your suits. So if we now try to take our tricks, let's suppose we play the ace of clubs, let's bring up the rest of the hands. You may try to take some club tricks, or maybe some diamond tricks, but at some point, when you play well your minor suits, East will be able to get in with the queen of spades, which you've not drawn, and they will be in a position to cash heart tricks. In fact, they will be able to take at least 2 heart tricks here. You can get back in and claim the rest, but you will be held to 10 tricks on this hand. So what went wrong on this hand was that we roughed the first trick, and then we tried to draw trumps, but we couldn't draw the last trump, and so we were left with all these heart losers here that we couldn't rough in dummy, because we don't have any trumps left at that point. Is there anything we can do about that? Well, here's one way you can play this. Again, they lead a heart, and you rough the first one. And again, the point on this hand is that we're going to lose a trump at some stage, and it's a good idea to lose it early on. So if we play a trump now, we can deliberately lose that one to the opponents, and we still now have a trump in dummy. So if they play another heart, we can trump this one. And now, to be successful here, all we need to do is get back to our hand and draw the remaining trump. So we'll take the ace of clubs, play 2 rounds of spades, and if the trumps have divided, that's all the trumps gone, and we can now just cash our tricks in the minor suits. And played that way, we should make 12 tricks there, because all we lost was one trump trick. Okay, so that again is a similar example where you have to be careful with the trump suit, and it's better to lose a trump early on. Then we'll be able to draw trumps, and we're in control of the trump suit. We don't let them get in again. There is another way you might try to play this, and that is actually by trying to rough as many hearts as possible in dummy. And this is another possibility, but I don't think it's quite as good this time. So in other words, if we do that, we might leave trumps out and try instead to rough as many of these hearts as we can. Maybe come back to our hand with another club and try to rough another one with a 9. So we can actually succeed in roughing that, but we've still got at least 1 trump to lose. In fact, at that point there, we now have some difficulty getting back to our hand to draw trump. And if, for example, you try to get back with a, or if you try to throw away your last heart on the king of clubs, the opponents can get in, rough that one, and they can play hearts, which you can rough. You can try to draw the opponent's trumps, but you can't draw them all. There's still one trump outstanding, and so they'll make one more trick with the queen of spades. So you can do reasonably well there by trying to rough a combination there of roughing the hearts or maybe discarding them on the diamonds. But perhaps a better line was the one we did before, which is giving up a trump and then trying to draw the remaining trumps. Okay, so just some examples of some slightly tricky hands. Does anyone have any comments or questions about any of those?